The EPA has given its approval to a multi-million-dollar project to remove toxic chemicals from a local creek. A city council is looking for federal grants to build new storm shelters, and state troopers have some suggestions on how to deal with the dangers of driving in winter weather.
A winter storm watch has been issued for all of East Alabama. We'll have the complete details on the chances for wintry precipitation coming up.
Coming up in sports, I'll take you out to JCA as they hosted Spring Garden last night in an area matchup. EAN Local News begins now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards. Mike Stedham has the evening off. Following a year of studies and public hearings, the Environmental Protection Agency has approved an $85.2 million plan to clean up Choccolocco Creek. The work will remove PCB contamination along the creek from Oxford to Lake Logan Martin. It's the fourth stage in the cleanup process that started at the former Monsanto plant in West Anniston, which manufactured the toxic chemicals decades ago. The plan includes excavating contaminated soil from public and private properties along the creek, dredging sediment from the creek bed, disposing of the contaminated material at an off-site location, and long-term monitoring of the area to make sure the environmental hazards have been removed. EPA officials say that this is the best way to deal with the problem based on information currently available. The Monsanto PCB contamination site is covered under the Superfund program, which was created by Congress in 1980 to deal with the nation's worst environmental disasters. The EPA's decision was released in a 721-page report that can be found on the Superfund website. Anniston officials plan to open their newly renovated City Hall building in less than a month. City Manager Stephen Folks told the council Tuesday night that the temporary City Hall in the Anniston Star building will close on January 30th, so workers can transfer all of the operations into the former federal courthouse at 12th and Noble. A ribbon-cutting ceremony is planned for 8 a.m. on February 3rd. The marble building was built in 1906 as the Anniston Post Office and was expanded in 1934. It served for decades as home to the U.S. District Court's Anniston branch, and it was traded to the city several years ago for the property where the new federal courthouse sits on Gurney Avenue. Also at Tuesday night's meeting, the council asked Anniston Fire Chief Jeff Waldrop to seek federal funds to build 4 storm shelters for the city. Each shelter is planned to be located at one of the city's community centers. Folks told the council that money for this project should be available from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Currently, Anniston does not have any public storm shelters. Volunteers are still needed in western parts of North Carolina to help clean up from recent storms, and some of them came through East Alabama this week to join those efforts. We'll have more in just a moment.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Barrett Body Shop has moved to its new location on Highway 431 in Alexandria. Barrett has been delivering top-notch collision repair in Calhoun County since 2000. Our skilled team restores your vehicle to pre-accident condition with a commitment to quality and safety. Choose Barrett Body Shop for honest, reliable service. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wedowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
It's been over 3 months since Hurricane Helene caused unprecedented damage to mountain communities in North Carolina. Volunteers flocked to the scene shortly after the storm, but lots of work remains to repair homes, businesses, and roads. Some volunteers came through Heflin this week on their way from Texas to resume that work. North Carolina resident Mindy Barrett was traveling with them, and she tells EAN News that more help is needed.
It looks like a war zone. Part of the problem with conveying what's going on is that you can look on one side of the road and it looks okay, and you look at the other side of the road and it is absolute carnage to the level that your head has a hard time processing it.
Although the winds and floods did spare some of the houses and businesses in the area, Barrett says the storm has fundamentally changed all of the lives in that part of the state.
You know, to live around that level of suffering is extraordinarily challenging for everyone. Resources are a problem, they're a hurdle. Cleanup is beyond challenging, because even if you can clean it up, what do you do with it? The level of damage that has happened in so many areas there truly is mind-bending.
Driving conditions throughout East Alabama are expected to become treacherous in a few days, so it's becoming more important than ever to plan for emergencies. We'll have some suggestions in just a minute.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Getting my car serviced is easier than ever with Buster Miles Automotive Group in Cleburne and Calhoun County. They pick up my car, service it, and deliver it back. Convenient, efficient, and top quality. Schedule your service today and see why Buster Miles Automotive Group is the smart choice.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Winter weather is always challenging for southern drivers, and the coming winter storm could pose danger for unprepared motorists. Alabama State Troopers have created a checklist that could prove to be a lifesaver. First, check your car's battery. Cold temperatures can affect battery performance, so it needs to be tested to ensure it's in good condition. Next, inspect your tires to make sure they have proper tread depth and are inflated correctly for improved traction. Then, check and top off all fluids, including antifreeze, oil, and windshield washer fluid, to withstand freezing temperatures. Replace worn wiper blades and test all headlights and taillights for optimal visibility during winter storms. And finally, prepare an emergency kit containing such items as blankets, non-perishable snacks, water, a flashlight, jumper cables, a first aid kit, and essential tools. This kit can be a lifesaver in case of a breakdown or being stranded until help arrives. Well, our lifesaver around here is John Holder, who has the very latest information about what we can expect on Friday, Saturday, and beyond. John?
Katie, indeed, as we look to Thursday night and Friday morning, we could have frozen precipitation across East Alabama. We'll detail the forecast for all of East Alabama next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth from CARES Direct Primary Care. Do you want convenient 24/7 access to health care? We are available in person, by text, phone, and video visit. Sooner or later, we all get sick. A quick trip to an ER or urgent care can quickly add up to more than the cost of one years membership of direct primary care. If you have a high deductible, you can quickly burn through that before your insurance activates. Join CARES DPC today.
EAN News would like to thank all our commercial sponsors. Go check out our sponsors' links in the description below.
A beautiful looking day across East Alabama, as evidenced by our EAN weather cam on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Plenty of sunshine, blue sky today. It looked warm outside, but it was not. We stayed in the 30s for most of the day today. Very briefly this afternoon, for just a little while, we topped out at 41 degrees, 13 degrees below the average, 26 this morning. Again, several degrees below the norm for this time of year. Well, looking at weather on your street tonight on Moore Avenue in Anniston and all across East Alabama. Get ready for the coldest night of the season. You go all the way back into November, December, these first few days of January, and this will be the coldest night yet. We're dropping down to 18 tonight. We're going to be looking at wind chill values even colder than that coming up this evening. This is going to be a very dangerously cold night all across East Alabama. Tomorrow, a little bit of good news on the horizon. That means plenty of sunshine tomorrow and actually a little warmer on Sunset Drive and Hoax Bluff. Temperatures tomorrow topping out at 45 degrees. That tells you how cold it's been when 45 is the warm day. That's what we've got coming up tomorrow afternoon. And as we look ahead to the start of the weekend coming up on Friday, this is where things turn really interesting. We've got a wintry mix for Gardner Drive in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville is going to be right on that line between maybe snow and ice. We're going to talk about that and go in depth with that in just a couple of moments. But the low 30s, that's going to be the high temperature, maybe 34 degrees, something like that for the high coming up on Friday with all kinds of wintry precipitation. Could we have some rain? Yes, that'll be a cold rain, but also sleet, snow, freezing rain. All of that is a possibility coming up overnight Thursday night and especially early on Friday morning. Here's the 7-day forecast for all of East Alabama. Look at this. The warmest day coming up in the next 4 or 5 days, 45 degrees tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Then we've got this wintry mix. We're going to have precipitation on Friday, a 100% chance of something. What that's going to be, still working out the details on that. It looks like we could have snowfall accumulations up to 2 inches at this present time across East Alabama, but we could also be dealing with just a cold rain. We could be dealing with some sleet, some freezing rain. All of that is a possibility, and a 2 or 3 degree difference in temperature will make all the difference in what we have coming up here on Friday. Then a cold day on Saturday. Anything that sticks around, that falls on Friday, is going to stick around on Saturday. The high only 38 degrees, 36 degrees on Sunday. By Monday, we're back at around 40 degrees. Again, very cold days coming up. 45 on Tuesday, 49 on Wednesday. Nighttime lows, again, mainly in the mid-20s. That's the average for the next several days across East Alabama. The good news is, as you look at the 7-day forecast, the only precipitation we have in the forecast will be overnight Thursday night and during the day on Friday. After that, even though the cold weather stays with us, the precip will be out of here. So this will be a very short-lived event all across East Alabama. Let's take a look now at this winter storm watch that we have coming up. We've got this for basically the northern third or so of Alabama, maybe the northern 40% of the state. Winter weather impacts. This is from Thursday night late, probably after midnight tomorrow night, lasting into the morning hours on Friday. I think we'll be above freezing enough that we may just have a cold rain by Friday afternoon. So basically midnight Thursday night to 12 noon on Friday. You see all these colors here. Down to our south, 40 or 50 miles down to the south. This will be just a limited impact area. Could there be some winter driving conditions? Yes, not a big deal at this point in time. Then we've got the elevated area, and that's going to include a very small portion of our viewing area. The southern half, if you will, of Cleburne County, the very southern portion of the Anniston-Oxford area, and then on down I-20 to the west toward Birmingham. That will include parts of the northern parts of Talladega and also Randolph and Clay counties as well. In this elevated impact area, hazardous driving conditions for sure going to happen. Could have some closings, some disruptions going on there. We already see school closings happening all across the region, and that's going to be in this elevated area. Then you get to the north here, and again, now the snow and the ice is not going to follow clear-cut lines, but basically from out in Nances Creek all the way through Saxon Weaver, out to around Bynum and East Aboga. That will include the north half also of Cleburne County, up in the mountains up there around Muscadine and Fruithurst and Oak Level and Borden Springs. From those areas northward, including the rest of Calhoun County, all of Cherokee, all of Calhoun County, that is the significant impact area. That is where the conditions are going to be very dangerous, if not impossible to drive. We'll have widespread disruptions and closures there. That is going to be the area that right now looks like will have the greatest impact, where we could see maybe more than 2 inches of snowfall in that area. We want to be very clear, though, that this is not a set in stone forecast. Again, 2 or 3 degrees could make all the difference in all of this area being a cold rain, or maybe having several inches of snow and everything in between. The one thing we're particularly worried about is an ice storm. That would be accumulations of sleet and freezing rain, because that is what is going to impact the power outages and things like that around East Alabama. So we'll have a better idea of this as we move through the next couple of days, but this is what we're looking at here for Thursday night midnight through Friday at 12 noon. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. with your Thursday weather at a glance. It's sports time now with Jordan Smith talking about high school basketball. Jordan?
Thanks, John. We were at JCA last night as they hosted both state-ranked Spring Garden teams in the Class 1A Area 12 matchup. Starting in girls action, the number 1 ranked Spring Garden Panthers spoiled the night at JCA as they won 76-28 over the Thunder. The Panthers were up 43-10 in the first half before finishing the game on a 31-7 run in the second half. The leading scorer in double digits for Spring Garden was Christian Lewis with 21 points, all from the three-point line. Alabama commit Ace Austin finished the night with 13 points, and Olivia Law ended the night with 11 points. For the Thunder, Addie Grace Lee led in scoring with 13 points, followed by Modesty Carr with 9 points. JCA falls now to 2-2 in area play. Moving over to the boys' side of the ball, the number 1 team in Class 1A, the Panthers, remained undefeated as they defeated JCA 73-41 on the road. Spring Garden led by 23 at the half and never looked back. John Welsh led the Panthers to the basket with an impressive 25 points, which marked his game career high. Noah Barber sank 4 three-point shots and 1 layup for a total of 14 points, and Connor Bates contributed 12 points on the night. Noah Lee led the Thunder with 18 points, and Jesse Ganaway followed with 16 points. The Panthers are on the road Monday at Weaver. Looking at some scores from last night, starting in girls action, Coosa Christian defeated Jefferson Christian 52-37. Ranburn beat Welborn 59-4. Sachs defeated Weaver 60-44. Westbrook Christian 2 better than Ohatchee last night, 46-44. Pell City picked up the win against Shades Valley at home 50-46. And Cherokee County defeated the Valley Cubs of Alexandria 53-40. In other girls action, Gaston defeated Pleasant Valley 50-20. Piedmont defeated Glencoe 45-42, and Jacksonville was 30 better than Lincoln last night, 60-30. In boys action, Coosa Christian lost to Jefferson Christian 68-60. Welborn picked up the win over the Ranburn boys 38-36. Weaver picked up the win over Sachs 75-47. Westbrook Christian defeated Ohatchee and picked up the sweep 78-65. Pell City lost to Shades Valley 53-33, and in an overtime game, Alexandria defeats Cherokee County 70-68. More boys action from last night. Gaston defeated Pleasant Valley 46-41. Piedmont 2 better than Glencoe 73-71. Jacksonville picked up the win over the Lincoln Golden Bears 66-32. White Plains picked up an area matchup against Cleburne County 84-59. Anniston defeating Hanley 76-61, and Munford defeated Donahoe 44-37. That'll do it for sports. Let's head back over to Katie.
Thanks for that update, Jordan, and thank you for watching us today. You can find us every weeknight on Facebook and YouTube, our website, and on Rumble. Go to the platform of your choice. Watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.